everyone. My name is Kiko, and I have been on a raw vegan journey for the last 22 years. So today I am alone, and it will be a solo talk. And I wanted to share how my 22 years of raw vegan journey has been. For maybe some of you have already read my first book called Namado, My Raw Journey. And in this book, I talk about how I discovered raw vegan diet and lifestyle. And that was just on 2003 on a New Year's Eve. And now my close friend Hugo, that was the first day I have met him, and he was raw vegan. He had a raw vegan food with him, and I was just mesmerized by him. He was radiating, and he let me try some of his food, and I was just really impressed and so amazed that this was not heated. It was not cooked. So ever since I have been just mesmerized with this diet, and I have been so lucky to find this diet and be able to continue. But well, it has been 22 years. When I just started raw vegan journey, it was a whole different world. There were some raw food guru, at that time I was living in New York City, and uh, luckily there were some raw vegan places that I could go to, and also there are some juice bars and smoothies bars. So it just made it a little easier for me to stick to this diet. And yeah, I was struggling with some health issues at that time, and that's one of the reason. Well, it was the reason I stayed on this diet, and I'm really grateful for that. Had I not had this health struggle, I don't think I would have stayed on this diet. And um, I'm just grateful that I had these issues so that I was able to incorporate this amazing diet. So last year, I published this book, Namado, My Raw Vegan Journey. And this was something that I have been wanting to share since the beginning of this journey, because my raw vegan journey has been nothing but miracles and fantastic way of living. And I just kept thinking that why is no one else doing it? It was just my friend Hugo, and none of my friends were interested in this diet or knew about this diet. And I just felt the urge to share this lifestyle because it's not in mainstream. And I honestly thought 22 years ago that y- very soon this diet would be mainstream, because it was just I felt amazing. I just felt like finally felt myself. I could feel the core me doing this diet. So uh I started my raw vegan YouTube last year because I felt I I had to be part of it to share. Because after over 20 years, it's still not a mainstream, and still quite a few people are struggling with their health and also emotional health. So I'm doing just a little part to show up on this YouTube, Instagram, also with my book, to share how wonderful this book, this lifestyle is. Um, so again, last year, I started my YouTube, my ebook I published on PayHip. I also published on Amazon paperback because some people wanted to have this book in paperback, and I was able to do so last year. It was right before New Year's Eve. I was able to publish on Amazon paperback. So uh, quite a few people already told me that they have purchased the paperback, and I got a news that how beautiful the book looks. So I'm really grateful for that. For those of you who have purchased and gave me a great review. I hope you have a time to read. If you are interested in a next level lifestyle, I highly, highly recommend you reading this book. So I have committed myself to continue and share my raw vegan journey. This raw vegan journey, for me, it has not been just a straight line. It wasn't something like I discovered this miracle diet and my life and health has been always fantastic. That has not been the case for me. It has been sometime up and down. Well, it was actually at the continuation of ups and down. And uh, I have shared that in my book in detail. Some people are quite, well, actually, a lot of people mentioned how they were shocked to find out the story, the life that I have gone through. Because in my Namado ebook, maybe I can bring up with the ebook. Let's see, I can share the Amazon page. Actually, the Amazon page is now on my YouTube link. So if you are interested in purchasing the Amazon paperbacks, you can find and purchase through the YouTube description that I share. And let's see, I can share screen share. I'm sharing the screen and I will share the entire screen so I can share. Here you go. So this is the Amazon book, Amazon site. So this is the US site. You can buy it in anywhere in the world, and as long as you have Amazon. And all you have to do is type Namado, my raw vegan journey, and you should be able to find it. Kindle version, you can find it on ebook or paperback, 25 US dollar. If you want to have the ebook, I highly recommend you purchasing on PayHips because that's I think I might have got given the same amount, 20 US dollar. But if you're interested in purchasing the e-copy, please contact me and I'll give you the discount code for that. So yeah, that's it for I have yeah, that's my uh Amazon book link. Yes. And oh, I'm gonna stop sharing. Yes, and I wanted to also share, respond to some of the questions. So someone contacted me how I am eating, how I'm feeling so great now. So you can, if you are interested in how I eat, on a daily basis, you can check on my Instagram, Namado Kiko, Namadokiko, and I often share what I eat. Uh, Generally, I would start eating seasonal fruits, or I might just start. Well, actually, I start with water. So this is just warm water. I like to, because it's cold here now in Kyoto, Japan. I like drinking yuzu infused warm water. Yuzu is the citrus fruits here in Japan now, and it smells really good. So I drink that maybe 2 cups, about 2 cups of water. I drink that first thing in the morning, and I might eat the fruits, seasonal fruits. The persimmon season has ended sadly, but before, just some weeks ago, I was eating a lot of persimmon in the morning, and now it's the season of satsuma orange, tangerine, uh, and so I eat that, and then apples are in season as well. Sometimes I just eat straight out eat the green smoothies. So that's similar to Dr. Brooke Goldner's green smoothie. And that's, let's see, 70 to 80% of greens, so leafy greens. Now we have lots of cruciferous vegetable here in Japan. So I add lots of different cruciferous vegetables, and then I would add uh, 1 or 2 bananas, pineapples. I would add some of the oranges in season, ginger, and very importantly, six about 6 tablespoons of chia seeds. So this chia seeds addition is something new since last year, and it's thanks to understanding how important omega-3 fatty acids is. And I'm I don't particularly like the taste of chia seeds, but I understand how important it is, so I add it. Flax seeds, I haven't. I add it sometime, but I tend to get some skin irritation when I take it too much. So I rely mostly on chia seeds as my omega-3 fatty acids. Also, flaxseed oil, I started incorporating, and the first few days or so, I seemed to do really well with flaxseed oil, but for some reason, I started to have some skin irritation, so I stopped taking flaxseed oil. This is the morning hydration time, so I hope you don't mind me hydrating myself while I talk. So what else? Someone asked me about the 80-10-10 diet. So if she asked me if I am doing 80-10-10 diet, and yes, I was following this diet for a long period of time. Um, but I realized that uh, I wasn't feeling great with that diet. I um I started to feel like there was an insulin level issue, and what I started feeling was I ate a lot of fruits, but I get hungry right away. And I felt, I don't know, not quite well balanced. And to be honest, it was very difficult for me to keep the fat to 10% level. 80% carbohydrate, 10% protein, and 10% fat. And my fat tend to go, even if I try to stay on the 80-10-10 diet, my fat was always like 15% or more. And I started to notice that I was feeling better with higher fat. So I still keep in mind of uh, omega-3 fatty acids, higher percent of omega fatty acids. So what I started doing towards the end of 2025, I decreased the amount of nuts and seeds in general and just focus on flax seeds and chia seeds. And that seems to work really well for me. So um, maybe now, uh, time to time, I would check on chronometer, and my fat tends to be maybe 20% or even a little more. But I have, I am very careful with nuts. I love eating walnuts, and I am fully aware that if I indulge on walnuts, the omega 3 and 6 fatty acids ratio would definitely be imbalanced, and I would start feeling some kind of inflammation. So, uh, to answer this person's question, 80, yeah, if I am on 80-10-10 diet, no, I am not. Um, my fat intake is 20 to maybe even 30% sometime. And I make sure to get omega, so let's say chia seeds, I add about 6 to 7 tablespoons. Depending on the day, I would add as much as possible into my green smoothies. And later, I would make like some kind of chia seed pudding. So I add, um, I take about 6 to 8 tablespoons of chia seeds every day. And sometimes I would make a flaxseed cracker, so that could go up. And I also eat Brazil nuts every day in my salad. And I add also walnuts into my diet. But I definitely take a lot less than beginning of last year, and that seems to work really well. So that's pretty much it. Yes, I've also shared. Last year, I have challenged myself in so many things, and my focus was to help. Um, well, to share that there's someone like me who is doing this raw vegan journey, high vegan journey for the last 22 years. And I'm feeling much better with that. And I have tried so many other different diets, including macrobiotic diet. Well, I'm Japanese, so that's something close to my own culture. I've also tried whole food plant-based, so that's a cooked version of um, cooked whole food raw vegan version, cooked whole food plant-based diet. And there are many people who are doing amazing with that diet. And I've tried myself, but for me, I didn't have as much energy as I could. and also the eating disorder issue that I have been having. When I eat cooked food, I tend to have that issue come back to me. So um, I I'm keeping it fully raw for now. And hi, 21st Century Homestead. Oh, she said, hello, everyone, sorry I'm late. I I feel always so strange speaking all by by myself, and thank you for commenting because that really helps me to feel not lonely. And it's one of the reasons that I keep on doing this um, podcast because over 22 or 22 years of being raw vegan, high raw vegan, right? That I just felt so alone. And even though I maintained a high raw vegan diet for all these years, there are many times I just felt lost. And there were so many, because there are so many people who are doing so well in whatever they are eating, I tend to get lost and change my diet to whatever seems to be working with the healthy looking people. So that could have been macrobiotic, or that could have been whole food plant-based diet. I always for the past 11 years or so, I am a committed vegan. So I stayed vegan, but there are many times I ate too much processed food, and that definitely affected my health. So at this point, I have been naturally pretty much fully raw vegan, and there's no force for me. Like, I'm not forcing myself to eat fully raw. And I think just a few years ago, it was, even though I stayed high raw vegan, it, it was challenging for me. So it was challenging for me in what way? For example, my husband is vegan, but not raw vegan. Well, he is uh during the summertime he eats high raw. Uh he enjoys whatever I prepare, and also all the raw vegan desserts that I make for him. He's happy. He's eating it during the winter time as well. But when it's cold, he just doesn't like to touch any kind of salad. So I respect him, and I cook him something vegan. But some years ago, it was challenging to see my husband eating cooked food. And um, for example, bread. My husband loves eating bread. He's French. And, here in Kyoto, even we have an amazing boulangerie. Baguette here in Kyoto is one of the best place to eat. To have, they have a really good quality baguette here in Kyoto. So that used to be like temptation or triggering for me to see him eating baguette. So there were times that I have asked him, I'm sorry, but it just triggers me and I just want to eat. And I would say, let me just taste a little bit. And I just couldn't stop eating. So I ended up eating a lot more than my husband. And, my gentle husband would say, maybe you should stop. And yeah, and I still with this eating disorder, I just couldn't eat, and I always had always struggled to stop. And the consequences is that I would um, struggle with some indigest bowel issues, or it could be like a skin issues. So, um, yeah, my eating disorder, um, I only came out of, is that the right way? Came out of this eating disorder. I don't know if I can say cured, but I feel like 2025, I didn't have to struggle with that. So often, because I have been with my husband for now 10 years, almost 10 years, and he has seen my eating disorder. So I it became a habit for him to tell me, "Kiko, you should stop eating because I know you would suffer." And this year, we talk about it that I haven't suffered. I was able to control and know what kind of food works for me. So, knock on wood, but um, my eating disorder seems to be cured. Okay. 21st Century Homestead said, "You're such inspiration. Thank you for just being you, whatever diet you choose or need." Thank you. I really appreciate your comment and your love. And it's one of the reason I was so scared to come to YouTube was that the that people were not kind, and I thought that people would attack me for not being perfect. And it has been nothing but surprises. And I just got hurt from Koala Mama. Thank you so much for all your love, because thanks to you guys, I can continue and keep on sharing. So, I am here in Japan, and I have my pop-up cafe, which I started just a year ago as well. And n- no one really knows about this raw vegan journey, and vegan food is also quite rare. So it's I don't have the raw vegan community close to me, but I do feel this is one of the reason it's important for me to show up. There was this one lady here in Japan who was fruitarian. She was on this YouTube. I think she used to share once a month or twice a month or so, and she shared her love of fruits and how fruitarian diet made her feel so good. And I think she moved to breatharian and she stopped doing her YouTube. So I was so sad that I couldn't connect to her while she was online. And I cannot find her. And you know it's I I hope to be this person, to be able to support this lonely road. I do this YouTube in English and also in Japanese. Later on, I will be doing a podcast with Sachi. She's also another raw vegan. She lives far from me, but we've been doing this once a week podcast in Japanese. And yeah, we have been doing it. And Kuala Mama asked me, "Have you met any raw vegans through the cafe?" Yes, actually, I have. 2 weeks ago, there was a beautiful raw vegan lady came to my cafe. She's a model here in Japan, and she lives just next town, maybe an hour and a half away from my cafe. And she says she's been doing raw vegan diet for a year and a half. So that was I was so happy to be able to connect with her. So I will be interviewing her in Japanese and also in English. soon. So stay tuned. I also met someone who was not uh, fully raw nor high raw, but was very much who knew about raw vegan diet, and they love raw vegan journey. So they came all the way from Gunma Prefecture, which uh, is quite far from where I am. They said that they had to leave 2 a.m. in the morning to get to my cafe. So that was quite a commitment. And they said that they discovered um, the greatness of raw vegan food uh, through my cafe. So that was really nice. They were already on. Uh, I don't know if I can say they just love eating lots of raw food. Raw veggie, lots of fruits, and they seem to continue eating a lot of them now. Yay! So yes, it's lovely to connect with those people in Japan, and yeah, I will continue. I have my cafe is uh, it's very small, and I do everything by myself. So I am doing it in a very small scale. It's definitely not a profit. Uh, it's not a cafe for profit. So I would have maybe one, two, mm, maybe maximum 6, 7 people at time, and I ask people to reserve at least 1 day in advance for if they needed if they wanted to have a plate. So um, anyone can stop by and have a drink and some desserts, raw vegan desserts. But if they wanted to have some drinks to to eat, like salad, they would need to reserve a day in advance. So that seems to be working well. And I'm committing to show up once a week, even if there's no reservation. I do think it's important to show up because when I discover my favorite cafe, um, often they're not that popular. Uh, Vegan diet is not popular. Smoothies cafe or juice cafe is not so popular here, but I love this kind of place. And because there's not much um, people, they tend to close it completely. And there are some raw vegan cafe here in Japan. They seem to pop up here and there, mostly in Tokyo area. That's the capital of Japan, but they don't seem to continue. And I understand it's not quite profitable. And that's one of the reason I stay just once a week, not for profit. I do, of course, charge for plates, and I focus not to lose my money on it. My husband just came, so he just woke up. Bonjour. So yes, so my purpose is to keep open just once a week at least, and keep on going on this business because I do think this is an amazing diet, and just not too many people know about it. And even if they realize that this is an amazing diet, uh, they need a guidance, or they need um, some people to talk to. So that's why I am here. And um, I think that's all I wanted to share today. I should be back again next year with Sky. And that's, let me just think if I missed anything. I'm sorry. Again, I'm not comfortable speaking all by myself yet, but I will try to come every week, either with Sky or interviewing someone else. Thank you, Koala Mama. She shared. I love your dedication. It's an important cause. Thank you. I really appreciate it. So, yes, I will be back interviewing some amazing raw vegan people and maybe some vegan people as well, both in English and Japanese. And I really appreciate you tuning on and encouraging me. It means so much to me. So, with that, I wish you a great evening or great morning wherever you are. And see you soon. Bye bye.